Hi, guys. Welcome to the podcast. How's it going, Spencer?
It's going good. How's it going with you?
Good, yeah, good. How are you, Tom?
I'm doing exceedingly well. I'm happy to be here with you guys.
Right, good. Right, let's kick things off then. Let me go to the list. Tom, could you tell us the first thing, please?
Well, the big news was Usyk defeated Fury, and he wants the rematch. Can he win the rematch?
No, I'll let Spencer start with that.
I think Fury could win a rematch.
How do you
Um,
think he did? How do you think? How could he? What could he do different?
Not play around so much. And stay focused. I think he kind of like thought he had it in the bag, and he lost focus, and that's when Usyk came back and dropped him in the ninth round. It was it?
It was.
Yeah. So, and that really, and on the scorecards, that seemed like that was the deciding factor
Yep.
because it would have been a draw if he didn't knock him down, but won the round. So, it is what it is. A rematch. I mean, there's rumors that Usyk don't even want to stay at heavyweight. Chisora came out saying that he's going to jump back down to cruiserweight. There's rumblings on social media saying that he might become undisputed at Bridgerweight to become a three-weight undisputed because he's small enough that he could do that. Um, or he might just retire.
Right. Nathan, how did you see the fight? Did you see the whole fight?
Basically, I saw the highlights and I saw the first 4 rounds and my stream went wrong. But from what I saw of the highlights, right, the first couple of rounds, Usyk took them quite comfortably, I'd say. And then in the third round, Usyk probably lost that in the fourth. But from what I saw of the fight, I thought Fury, his dad was in the corner. I listened to it, right? He was given, Sugar Hill was giving him instructions. Then John Fury told him something completely different. Did you hear that? Why is this
Yeah.
there? Why is he there? What's his purpose? This is the problem. He needs to get rid of his dad and get rid of him for good. You can't have hangers on like that. Javon Sugar Hill has trained many top fighters. Why is he putting up with this crap? Tyson Fury needs to look at how he's set up completely. If he listened to Hill, he would have won that fight. I believe he could have won that fight.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm blaming his dad for some of this loss, not for all of it. I don't want to take anything away from Usyk because he's a great fighter. But I think Fury should forget an immediate rematch and just go a different route. His
Yeah.
head's not in the right place.
Yeah. Let me give you my take on it. First of all, I picked Usyk to win for two reasons. Number one, I felt he was more mentally focused, and number two, I felt he was the better boxer and had less distractions. When I look at Fury now, the last time I saw him really focused was in the second fight with Deontay. I mean, he was all business, no fooling around, had a simple game plan, and he didn't get tired. He, in the second round, what I saw, first of all, I agree with you, Spencer. He was fooling around too much the first 3 rounds. And in the second round, he got hit on the nose, and I think his nose got fractured because he kept doing this and blowing air out of his nose. And so around the fourth round, he started to box and he took control. And then in the eighth round, he got popped on that nose again really hard. Then in the ninth, he got a good shot and he got it right here in the sinuses where he got caught, and he was gone. He was gone. And and leading up to this fight, I've noticed one, he's got slower. Two, he gasses out sooner. And he's got confusion in his corner. So
Yeah.
he's going to have to rethink how he's going about this because he's slowed down. And to me, I got to be honest, both he and Deontay, the punishment they gave each other, I don't think either one of them has been the same since then. And so, his punch resistance seems to be getting less because he was out in the 9th round. I mean, easily the ref could have stopped the fight, but because of the nature of the fight, he properly gave him a standing out. He probably gave him a standing out. I'm sorry. He properly gave him a standing 8 count when his butt hit the ropes and saved him from going down. But for all intents and purposes, he was gone. And that shouldn't have happened like that. He had him going. But the thing I got to say about Usyk is that he always does this, like the 8th or 9th round, he ups the game. He turns it on those last 4 rounds. He comes for you. So his conditioning was better. That's why I picked him, because mentally and physically I felt he was stronger. That was the only reason. Fury, this was his fight to lose.
Do you think he wins the rematch?
If he gets rid of his father and the distractions, possibly. But I don't know. You know, if he didn't get hurt in that 9th round, he probably would have won a very like 114, 113.
Yeah, that's what I say.
Yeah, I agree with you, but he didn't. If he would have won the first and the 3rd round, he would have had a comfortable lead if he didn't get the knockdown.
Even with the knockdown, if he would have won one of the first early rounds, he would have been able to be up enough that the knockdown wouldn't have been an impact.
Yeah, I gave him the 3rd and the 3rd. There was one round in there I thought was even in the 4th, and then after that he was banging him. He had, and why to go to the ropes? Why to let this guy go to the ropes? He was fine when he held his hand out like this. He couldn't get in on him. All he had to do was do that. The whole fight, get close, hold him.
Yeah, but
easily.
It's, you know what? It's really hard. I thought Fury probably, if he'd not got knocked down, like Spencer said, he would have won the fight. For me, that's why he didn't win the fight, because he got knocked down.
Yeah,
right.
That's all it is. There's nothing between them. He could, like you say, he could win the rematch, but he's got to restructure and he needs to stop messing about. If he took that fight seriously, he'd have won it.
Because one of the judges gave it to Fury, right?
WBC judge, yeah.
One of the judges gave it to Usyk, but by 1 point.
Yeah.
You know, so, and then the other one I think gave it to Usyk, like 3 points or something like that. But the one that gave it to Fury would have still gave it to Fury, and the one that gave it to Usyk by 1 point, it would have been a difference maker.
Well, the bottom line is Usyk is now undisputed.
Yeah, undisputed. Yeah, and Fury can't even get back undisputed. He could just redeem himself.
Right, because that IBF belt is going whoop.
Can't he just? Should we be honest? There's nobody else really to touch Usyk or Fury out there right now. Really, realistically, that we know of, apart from probably Joshua. The way you got to look at, if I'm Fury, I'm going to go a different direction. There's Manuel Charr. There's the winner of Dubai Hergovic.
But he's kind of he gonna fight Usyk. He gotta fight Usyk.
What is this need that he has to do it? Why can't he go and have another fight and fight the winner of Dubai, get a belt? And you know, I don't understand why everyone's giving him such a hard time.
Because Fury isn't safe in training camps, number one. You can't allow him to have another camp with another fighter and then injure himself or get cut or do some other stuff that will prolong. They're not young. Usyk will wind up retiring and he won't, especially if they don't take the rematch. Usyk, only reason why he might stick around is because he's obligated to give him another shot.
And the money. That's a lot of money involved.
I mean, yeah. I heard Fury got 100 million, Usyk got 45. So
yeah, that's kind of wrong, isn't it? Really,
a lot of money. It's a lot of money.
Yeah,
but I think Fury, even if people can say what they like about him, Joshua. I mean, even though if he loses again, he's going to be in the same situation as Joshua. That's going to set him back another year. I don't see the problem with him skipping past this fight.
He was ready to retire 2 fights ago, and he should have. But here's the thing. Here's a little trivia to lighten this up. Usyk is the same height as Muhammad Ali, has the same reach, and was born on the same day. Usyk.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird? Same height, same reach, same day. Crazy.
So
anyway, that's trivia. Yeah, go ahead, wrap it up.
That's it. I'm done.
Shall we talk? For me, I want to talk about what Usyk does next. If Usyk doesn't fight Fury, he might as well retire. I seriously think there's nothing left for Usyk to do if he wins the rematch. He's done it.
So that's why Fury needs to fight him next, because if he don't fight Fury next, he'll retire. And if Fury go fight somebody else, he won't be able to get his comeback.
Yeah.
You just said it you just answered the thing on why he should fight him next.
If these guys wait 6 or 7 or 8 months for the rematch, they'll have time to recover, take a rest. I mean, Usyk got beat up pretty bad too. It wasn't just Fury who got hurt. I mean, Usyk's eye was cut.
They said something about his jaw was broken. Was that true?
Turns out it wasn't broken, but he was pounded. He had injuries. His hands were banged up. He had bruises all over his hands. It's Tyson Fury put some hurt on him, but Tyson lost the fight because of the idiocy that was going on in his corner and everything else.
Okay.
Yeah. Shall we talk about the rest of this card before I start getting angry?
Yeah. Okay. Don't get angry.
Yeah, I just wanted to say one more thing. Has anybody watched any of Hatman's latest videos?
No.
No, I didn't see it.
Saying that Fury's whole following is based on a cult, on a fake like cult.
A fake what? Cult?
Based on a cult.
Listen, the bananas thing that I see throughout the airways is that Usyk dominated Fury.
But he didn't.
Now, that's bananas that people are even trying to allude to that weird opinion. Like it was a close fight, and Usyk got the nod.
Yeah, he should have been all business in there, Fury, from round one. None of the, all of that stuff. That was just that just shows me, something mentally was not right with him. When he went in with Wilder the second time, he was like that, straight ahead, focused. Lots of stuff, could set him off, and he's mentally, bipolar. So
Yeah.
I don't know, man. If they both retire, I wouldn't be unhappy.
I tell you, I'd be glad to back the both of them at this point. They're both, the nonsense they show.
The tentative date for the rematch is October.
That'll give them time.
You know what? I wish they'd both retire. Then we'd see a more open heavyweight division. Then at least people wouldn't be angry and upset. I'm glad I didn't pay any money to watch it because it would have.
Well, the rest of the heavyweight division can still form themselves up, because after they fight, they might retire anyway. So both of them.
They do, because that it wasn't as good as the. I just think both guys have done everything they can. Fury's had all the belts before. There's nothing else to really say, is there? Let's move on before I really do lose my temper. Right, the rest of this card was pretty good. Ajit, let's talk about what's next on the list.
Opetaya defeats Bradis again to win back the title he was stripped of.
Yeah.
Who's next for him? I mean, who could get in the ring with him and have a chance at this point?
Nobody really. He should fight. He should try and unify the division if he can, then move up to bridgeweight or even up to heavyweight.
Yeah, he should do that. He should unify the division, try to become undisputed. Do that.
I don't think he can get heavyweight though. I don't think he'll be able to.
Well,
no, but he could do that and maybe Yeah, he could do that.
Yeah,
I was gonna say maybe meet Usyk at Bridgerweight.
yeah, the division that nobody cares about. Oh dear, it gets worse, doesn't
They
it?
they would if the undisputed heavyweight champ and the undisputed cruiserweight champ was meeting there.
Yeah, maybe Nick could probably do that. He can make the weight. What did he come in at?
237.
Yeah, he could
Yeah,
make the Usyk so easily.
yeah, because what would he need to cut like another 10,
And
11 pounds?
£7.
Yeah, he built up. He bulked up a lot, and then he trimmed down. Is what happened. I was following his training. He got really built up, and then he just cut it down. He ripped himself down. But just to give him that extra strength, you could see across his shoulders and his back that he had built himself up for that fight. But you got to give the guy credit. I mean, he was able to withstand that beating and come back.
Look, I just
Yeah.
think the problem is starting to show for Appetite. He's struggling to kind of make the. What did he come in at for this fight?
I don't remember.
I mean, he was
You mean after the weigh-in?
Yeah.
I don't know.
after.
I believe he'd do well at Bridgeweight or even heavyweight. I think he could do something at that weight. I really do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if he struggles to make cruiserweight, then he definitely should move up.
He doesn't punch any less harder than Michael Hunter, does he? From what I've seen.
No. Well, what would be a good match for him would be Gilberto Ramirez.
Oh, that's a tough one. That's a real. But I think he could get the better of him. Yeah, I don't see why not.
That would be a good one. I mean, he could fight some. Did he fight some other hitters at cruiserweight?
Trying to think who he fought.
He didn't fight Chris Billiam Smith yet, has he?
Well,
No.
no, not him. But like the old guard that was pretty decent in when Usyk was running through there, like Dorticus and
Marco,
the likes.
they're all gone.
They're all gone. Okay.
I think they might be. Like I say, all he has to do is beat Chris Billiam Smith, and then get a fight of Ramirez, and then then the WBC guy champion Makabu lost another match. So the guy who's now the new cruiserweight champion he should be able to beat quite comfortably. So he could beat.
Wasn't it? What's it called at one point? Wasn't Jack the WBC champ, and then he gave it up?
He was by the Jack, then he vacated it. Now it's somebody else. Makabu managed to get a rematch for the vacant belt, and he lost in 3 rounds. So from what I've seen, Opataya could beat the WBO champion Billiam Smith at the WBC quite handily. I'm not so sure how he'd get on against Ramirez.
That would be the best fight. That would be a good fight.
It would be ideal if Obataya could fight the WBC dude. Ramirez got a title at cruiserweight.
Yeah, the WBA, the WBC is.
He got that. Okay, all right. And Ramirez fight Billiam Smith. Then they unify, and then the winners fight each other.
You should be a promoter and a matchmaker.
Well, he could be the next Don King, couldn't he? He has to kill someone first.
He doesn't have the hair for it.
He doesn't have
Not at all. I don't have. I'll be the opposite Don King hairstyle.
Hey, should we move on to Cordina?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, he got stopped, and that guy only had 3 KOs on his record. Man, what happened here?
I ain't see the fight. Tell me about it.
He got beat up. The guy messed him up twice with uppercuts. The downfall was uppercuts. It was not fun for this guy. What are you gonna do?
It was a good knockout. It was brutal,
It was pretty bad. It's a good division. They have some good fighters. They have Foster in there, Oshaki Foster, Navarrete, Roach. Didn't Navarrete just lose, didn't he?
Yeah, man. He lost on the. Did you put that up?
I did.
Because he lost.
I put
Because
it not
because
on.
he lost this. Didn't he lose the same night? No.
Yeah, he did. He was on a top ranked card. Yeah, he did.
Yeah. Because I seen that fight. He lost to the Ukrainian dude.
Right, he did.
Kovalov, yeah. What round was it? Because I didn't get to see
No,
it.
no, Koval. We're
He
not.
lost on points.
He lost some point.
Yeah, but getting back to Cordina, he lost to the Irishman Cachet.
Yeah, no, he was overmatched. The guy was good. He just had every answer from the style.
He did. He did. I mean, he took he took it. He was courageous, but the guy just kept catching him.
Look,
I guess
sometimes
Cordina probably thought he could take his punches. He only had 3 knockouts,
the
maybe.
guy probably isn't a better skillful fighter, but it just sometimes if you get the wrong style, like Andy Ruiz, Anthony Joshua, if you get the wrong style, then it's going to go
Yeah,
wrong.
yeah, definitely. Styles make fights, they say.
And he didn't do well his last fight. He just won it by an edge.
Yeah.
So maybe he can't make super featherweight. Maybe he needs to move up to lightweight. But he was defeated quite soundly.
Yeah.
I was surprised.
But
Yeah, maybe that would be a smart move.
What'd you
Cordina
say?
fighter, but he's still a world class fighter. He's 32. Don't forget, he's not.
Well, I think when he broke his hand and then got stripped and he was inactive for a while, that may have hurt him physically and psychologically.
His career's not over by any stretch.
No, no, no. Like Tom said, he could move up to move up a division, and maybe that he won't struggle to make weight. Maybe if that's what he's doing, struggling to make weight, something. So
Well, honestly, if you look at those two fighters side by side when they were fighting, Kache looked bigger than him. So I don't know if it was weight. I don't know what it was, if it was a style thing. Maybe they should rematch and we'll see. But something just doesn't seem right with him since that handbrake. And he just hasn't looked at his last couple of fights. I don't know.
no.
You want to move on to Caballel, stop Sanchez?
Yeah, I saw the highlights of this and I was impressed. He hit him with everything.
Caballel making a name for himself.
Yeah,
He's like, this is.
You're right. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
He's like, this is why y'all was keeping me away.
He is.
Like, yeah, because that's a good win, Sanchez.
Yeah.
I mean, the last win when he was on the whole heavyweight card back in what was it? When Deontay and AJ was on the same card, and he stopped Makhmadov.
Yeah,
that was a good stoppage too.
Yeah. You know what I've noticed? He's worked on his punching power. He was always a good boxer, but now he's knocking guys out. It wasn't so much.
What took him so long? I mean, obviously he beats Frank Sanchez, who was never anything special anyway. We know he wasn't. He was good, but he was never anything special. And then
yeah, but he was undefeated.
Makhmadov, who did Makhmadov beat? He didn't beat anyone. And yet this guy was
but you got to think, these guys were undefeated guys. They were not coming in to lay down. Makhmadov nor Sanchez, they were coming in to win.
Sanchez is fight to the Makhmadov. Makhmadov.
For sure.
Makhmadov didn't beat any, just old has-beens and journeymen. That's all he beat.
Yeah. He had the highlight reels.
Yeah.
He had the highlight reels. But
95% knockout ratio.
Yeah, he had the highlight reel, so that's what made him exciting. But yeah, I mean, I could agree with you on that one. That the guys that he beat, they weren't like top 10 guys.
No.
Sanchez was a borderline top 20 dude. So
Ed can make a record out of beating people like fighting guys who got 21 wins, 2 losses against low-ranked people and building up a record. That's all they did with Makhmadov was pad his record. Only good name on his record, like I say, was that bloody what's his name, Carlos Takam. That's it.
Well, Carlos Takam ain't a bad name.
No, that's the only person he's beaten.
But I mean, Caballel has been around longer than Makhmudov. He
He
has
has
more experience than
Reza
Makhmudov.
also
So
as well. Don't forget he beat
so
Zora 8 years ago when Zora
and
was
and yeah, and wasn't he an EU champion or something like that?
twice. He was the EU champion for 4 years.
So like yeah, he definitely is a level above those dudes. You know,
But I
but it's
don't think
impressive nonetheless. Still
no,
impressive nonetheless.
I don't think he beats the Joshua's or the Usyks or the Fury's
No,
guys.
no, 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 not yet, not yet. I don't think he would be able to beat them because by the they not going to fight anyway.
Perfect
But he
opponent
could.
would be Huey Fury. Then we could see what he's really made. That would be the perfect
Human
opponent.
Fury, yeah, that'd be a good one. He could fight your boy. Nah, that'd be another has been
Him and
dude.
Michael Hunter would be good. I'd pick him to beat Michael Hunter.
Hunter would be a good one.
Well, I think Ajit is gonna be in there as a contender.
Oh, yeah.
Whether or not he'll get a title, we don't know at this point. I don't think so, but he'll be in there. He's in the mix, and he looks good. His boxing is good. His power is
Is,
good.
is Dylan White back?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he fought Christian Ham. He'll destroy Dylan White at this stage now.
Well, that'll be a good win under his belt.
Yeah, but yeah, it would. Yeah, but
And he
Dylan,
would definitely get a Brit after that. He'll get a Dubois, Joyce,
you know what?
perhaps AJ.
I'd give him a chance against someone like Dubai. I really would give him a real chance.
Yeah, Dubois.
I heard some news about Daniel Dubois was going to fight somebody up there. What was it?
Hergovich.
Hergovich,
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
he's not going to win that.
No, I mean unless Hergovich gets hurt,
Yeah.
a la Charles Martin. You know the IBF is a
Yeah,
jinx belt.
yeah.
Maybe.
I would actually. Apparently, there's a stay of execution for that fight because the IBF has said that the undisputed rematch they can keep the belt for that or some crap.
Well, either that or he does a Ryan Garcia.
Yeah. What's next on the list?
Custer got crushed. Should he retire?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I would if I was him, I would fight a nobody at home and call it a career, like an easy win to call it a career, so he won't be going out with a loss on his record.
Yeah,
but
he got clocked pretty good in this fight.
Yeah, but other than that, like, you don't try to get no competition, no real competitive fight or something. You know.
You know what? But just for a second, Benavidez, they were saying that the winner between Dubois and what's his name that you just said? I forgot.
Hergovich.
Yeah, the winner that Benavidez would fight him.
Benavidez.
Yeah, that's what
AJ gonna fight the winner.
That's what I said. But something about like that. Then he's considering heavyweight. It was just something he said or something that somebody made an article out of.
AJ fights the winner so that AJ could be fighting the Fury. If Fury wins the rematch, he could fight Fury for undisputed.
Can I put it to you bluntly? And I'll put this as blunt as I can. I think we're coming to the end of the Fury, Usyk, Joshua kind of generation. I think we're coming near the end.
Yeah. We definitely on this. 2024 is probably, you might see one or two of them in some big fights in 2025, but they on the twilight of their careers.
The end is near. What else is next on the list? I forget.
Rumors are Canelo and Bud are in negotiations. Can Bud deal with the size difference and win?
No, I don't think so. No.
Nah, he's gonna be too
small.
He's gonna be too huge. But I don't know though. If Bud is beefing up and bulking up and practicing at another weight and going in there fighting super middleweights and sparring,
I don't see it. I
don't see it either. I mean, that's a bridge too far. But if anybody could do it, it'll be Bud.
Well, he's going to be fighting at 154 his next fight, right?
Yeah.
Madridov?
is he vacated the? Is he kept the belts? He's fighting the WBA belt in 154.
Madrimov, right?
Yeah.
That'll be a tough fight. The guy's not a pushover.
See what he does in this fight. How he looks.
Yeah, I guess that may be a stipulation for Canelo to, let him go up there and fight and see what happens.
I could see him unifying another division. I could see him unifying the 154 division. But
he has the reach for it.
Yeah,
he doesn't have the height, but he has the reach.
Yeah.
But Madrimov is like 5'8", so that he's not too tall. But Canelo's not tall. He's like 5'10", 5'9".
Yeah.
Yeah, he's about 5'9", I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I think Canelo is going to stay where he is, and he's on the decline now anyway, as we discussed in the last podcast.
Yeah, but he's still got a lot left in the tank. I mean,
yeah.
He
got at least three more fights in him.
Yeah, before he starts really declining.
Starts losing to guys he shouldn't, yeah.
Right. Well, we can move on if you want. Taylor and Catterall, who wins this time?
Who?
Josh Taylor and Catterall. Rematch tomorrow.
I'd say Catterall now.
I don't know. I'm gonna go with
Catterall gave
I'm gonna pick
time.
Yeah. This is at welterweight though, right?
I'm not sure. Let me see. Is it at 147? Let's see. Junior welterweight, it says here.
It's gonna be then Catterall.
Catterall, yeah. Yeah, because he lost at welterweight recently, didn't he, Taylor?
I thought he only lost to what's it called? He lost at welterweight? I know he lost to Lopez.
He lost to Thingy, didn't he? I can't remember.
Oh, no, it was 140. You're right.
He lost to Teofimo. He got demolished by Teofimo.
Yeah, and he was saying he couldn't make 140 anymore, but he hasn't changed weight division. There's a lot of heat in the welterweight division.
Yo, he's been saying he couldn't make the weight for a while. That's why he got this dude here, man. I hope Catterall do win.
Nathan, what did you say?
I think Josh Taylor's done it that way. There's nothing more for him to. He's won all the belts. He's lost all the belts now. Almost. Has he got any belts left?
No, he lost his last fight. The last belt he had was the WBO, and he lost that to Teo.
Yeah, so he should move on up. If he loses this, then he should really think about his future.
Yeah, he should. He should have brought Jack to 147. Jack might be able to make 147 too, but
yeah, well, he didn't. We'll see. It'll be a good fight.
I think he loses now that it's at 140.
I mean, he did look good at times with Teofimo, and Teofimo started, getting fast on him and moving. He didn't lay down against Teofimo. Teofimo just, won.
The first time they fought, Taylor and Catterall, Taylor, many people believe Taylor lost that fight, and his excuse for not looking good was the weight issue.
Right.
So 3 or 4 years later, or however many years later, it took him to do the rematch, and you still at that same weight, struggling to make it. I don't know. It's not looking too good for you.
Doesn't make sense. Right, Nathan?
Yeah, it does, definitely.
So the next topic is one that you put up, Joe Joyce versus Chisora, July 27th. So who wins this, Nathan?
Joyce. Easily.
Well, tell me why.
I thought Chisora was supposed to be fighting somebody else.
No.
Go ahead.
This was organised 3 days ago.
So why does he win?
Because Fury doesn't have any left. Chisora doesn't have hardly anything left. I watched his last performance, 2 performances. He looked terrible in his last performance against what's his name? Did he fight last? Gerald Washington. Did he fight last?
Okay, yeah. He didn't look that good against Joe.
I think that
He
was his
was a
last
lot.
fight. No, was it? Or was it Fury's last fight? I can't remember. Might have
He
been.
definitely didn't look good against Fury. Fury carried him anyway, but
I just don't think there's any. Yeah. I think it's a good win on Joyce's record. It puts him back in there a little bit. It puts him back in the mix a little bit.
yeah, it's a good British fight.
Yeah,
Fury's
it'll have
above him in the rankings at the minute, all the governing bodies. So Fury's in most of the governing bodies rankings. This will be a good fight for him. It gets him an easy
Yeah,
win, and nearer
yeah,
towards.
for sure,
And
for
then he could look
sure.
at the options of like the Manuel Char sort of option or Michael Hunter sort
Yeah,
of option.
yeah. He could see what's out there because there'll be some heavyweights having their fights, and he could pick and choose the winner. Maybe Kabayel.
There you go.
I'd pick Cabiel to beat him at this stage.
Yeah, but if he could get up his confidence and destroy a Chisora or something.
Yeah. But I think the problem is Cabiel, hasn't had a hard career. He's had an easy career, not a lot of mileage on the clock. I could easily see him stopping Joe Joyce.
Yeah, he definitely don't have as much wear and tear on him as somebody of choice.
No.
Yeah, and he had 2 bad knockouts against Zhang. Ugh,
Yeah,
those were
and
bad.
and a tough fight against Parker prior to that. Even though he won, but that was a cracker too.
Yeah. So he's down in the rankings. He's 14 in the WBO. He's 11 in the WBC. He's 9 in the IBF. I don't even see him in.
Where's Fury? No, not Fury. Where's Chisora?
I don't see him on here.
Sora shouldn't be ranked nowhere.
This will be for some sort of intercontinental thing or something.
He's not in the top 15 of any of the organizations.
Yeah. But you can reckon this will be a ranking fight. It will be for some sort of crappy little belt. Will be on the line.
Yeah.
Right. So moving
Yeah,
on, Christian Mabili versus Mark Heffron. If Mabili wins, can he get a shot at Canelo?
Possibly.
I'm trying to remember who I seen Mark Heffron fight.
Let me look him up. Let's see.
Because the name is sounding familiar.
I don't think he could win this.
Nah. This is probably a Billy fight.
Okay, here he is. I'll give it to you right now. He's got I think 3 losses. 1, 2, 3. He's been TKO'd once, and then a loss on what happened? He retired due to a swollen left eye, and then another.
Who he lost to?
The last one he lost to was Jack Cullen, was a TKO. That was in September of 23. And Jack Cullen, yeah, so that was over there. So he's lost 1 on a cut and 2 on a stoppage TKO. And that's what he's got, an 80% KO record, and he has 1 draw with 30 wins. He's 33-1. He's mainly been fighting, over in, across the pond.
Yeah.
British.
Okay.
So it should be a decent fight, but I heard that the winner may get to fight Canelo's last opponent. I forget his name again. The one he just beat.
Munguia.
Munguia. Yeah, he may be able to get a shot at Munguia after this, Mabili.
Yeah.
Which would make sense, right, if he wants to move up in ranking.
Yeah, that would be a good one.
Right? I mean, if he wants to move up, that would make sense. Because the guys there in super middleweight, it's all Saul Alvarez. And you got David.
Yeah, I mean, he got the titles, but he could fight Morrell. Yeah, he got the WBA world belt. But you could get these other guys. I don't know if he's with Top Rank in Billy.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, he's rated number 2, and Munguia is rated number 1. So the only way to go is Munguia or Benitez or Saul Alvarez in the WBC. And then, I mean, maybe if he could fight Berlanga, but he's fighting in the WBC, so he's not even ranked in the WBA.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I thought he. That's what I'm saying. I thought he was gonna. They was gonna try to push him to become mandatory. A mandatory challenger for Canelo.
Well, if he beats Munguia, he may be. But all of these guys, Berlanga, Skull, Pacheco, that are all number 1. Alvarez is going to probably take the fight with Bud because of the money they're going to give him.
Yeah,
They'll probably make
yeah.
it
Those
in the United States, and they'll pay a lot of money for it.
that when you look at the landscape, the only other fight that is possibly going to make him any money it will be a Benavidez fight, and it don't seem like he's entertaining that one. So
Or Berlanga. Berlanga would be easy for him.
yeah, but would anybody think Berlanga really has a chance of beating?
Well, here's the deal. Let me straighten this out. Mabili will get the winner of Munguia versus Caleb Plant. That's what I heard. That's what I read. Caleb Plant and Munguia will fight. The winner Mabili will get. So that would be a good thing. I think Plant would give Munguia a good fight.
Yeah, he might be able to win because he's a much better boxer than Munguia, I think.
Yeah.
Munguia is high. He's high volume, but Plant could do that too. He could throw a lot of punches too.
Yeah, you got a bunch of different people in there that can work. So, what do you think, Nathan?
Yeah, I think that would be a good fight for him. Berlanga.
All right, our next thing I'm going to have Nathan. I want you to comment on this. Spencer put this up. It's the WBA rankings of the top heavyweights of all time.
Yeah, who's got the list there in front of me?
It's there. I got it right here.
Read it for me, please. Then I can tell you.
I'll tell you what. Hold on. I'm glad you put this up. This is a fun subject always to talk about, Spencer.
Yeah.
It's WBA. Number 1 is Joe Louis. Number 2 is Muhammad Ali. Number 3 is Jack Johnson. Number 4 is Rocky Marciano. 5 is Tyson. 6 is Dempsey. 7 is George Foreman. 8 is Joe Frazier. 9 is Lennox Lewis. 10 is John L. Sullivan. I don't know about that, but Joe Louis was a great. Let's just do the top few here. Joe Louis was a great fighter. He held the title for 9 years, and he only had 3 losses, which is impressive.
Don't forget there was a world war in between his title reigns. You know what I mean? People forget.
Yeah, but he still fought, and he still fought. At one time, he was fighting a guys like once or 2 months. He was fighting.
Yeah.
And he was a very good boxer. So historically, there was a lot of significance on Joe, as was on Muhammad Ali. They're both historical figures, and Jack Johnson is a historical figure. I think that's why those 3 are rated in the top 3. They're all having to do a lot with, equality and the times that they fought, and they all face different forms of racism and religious bigotry as well. So I could see why those 3 would be at the top for what they had to deal with inside and outside the ring. So they put Muhammad Ali second, and I always think of Muhammad Ali, it's somewhere in the top 3 or 5. I love him the most because I grew up with Ali. And
Right.
And I was such a rooting for him. He was one of my heroes, along with a couple of other people that were not in boxing. And Jack Johnson was a pretty crazy guy, man. He had a big pair of, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He really,
I don't understand why I know why he's on the list, we've seen how much. There's hardly any footage of the guy. There's only about 5 of his fights, and there's hardly any of his footage. That's
I
the
think a lot of it is because of the outside of the ring stuff, also
and the first.
that those guys had to deal with the first three, especially.
So he
I mean,
deserves.
not taking away their skills because well, not with Jack Johnson, but with Joe Lewis, you got footage, and Muhammad Ali. I've seen a few of his fights. I didn't see the listings of none of those,
Joe
but
Lewis, about 50% of his career is on film, right? Or 60%. But with Jack Johnson, I've only seen clips. Has anybody sat down and watched the full fight of Jack Johnson's?
I
know
have.
they're out there. There's about
I
three.
have. I watched about. I think there are 3 of them up on YouTube. You could watch.
How good was he when you compare him to Joe Lewis? If you look at it properly.
Well, it was a different style of fighting. In fact, he was a better boxer than almost all of those guys.
Jack Johnson was.
Yeah, and that's why he won a lot of those fights. What were you going to say?
Nothing. I'll
carry on.
Go ahead, Nathan.
Well, I think
which one are you talking to?
We can't make a real judgment on him really because we haven't got enough footage. It's bad. I hate to say it, but it's true. I've seen bits. He's a great fighter, but I need to see. You know what I mean?
I'll defer to the historians as far as ranking those guys, and they probably know more than I do.
Let me tell you this: when they brought back the Giant to fight him, who retired, because they couldn't have a black man holding the title. Yeah. He was beating the hell out of him so bad they stopped filming it.
I know, in Australia,
yeah, they stopped it because he was beating him terribly. And the last fight he fought as heavyweight to get out of a long prison sentence for taking his wife across lines, the Mann Act, which was initiated by Congress to get him arrested for transporting a white woman across state lines to have sex. He took a dive in that fight. You could see him cover his eyes from the sun when he's being knocked out. He's on the ground. He covers his eyes so the sun won't hurt his eyes. He took a dive, so, to avoid a prison sentence. So, they're pretty wild times back then.
I respect him, what he's done. I've seen footage of when him from the I think he died in 1950 or something. I've seen footage of him as an old man. And that's the best footage we got of him. Who else is on the list now?
Number 4 is Rocky Marciano, the only undefeated heavyweight.
Yeah, I do not agree that Mike Tyson is on this list.
Why?
He after he beat Spinks, he just went down the tubes.
Yeah, and he did that so young that his career, because he's what, number 5 on the list?
He's 5. Yeah, he's below Marciano.
I'll tell you why I've got a problem with Marciano being so high on the list. The fact that he was unbeaten is a big fact of it. He was a great fighter, but again, he only beat old men pretty much. He beat an old Joe Lewis. All the people he beat were more or less finished by the time he came along.
Well, let me say this to that. I know what you're saying. He had 12 amateur fights, turned pro at 24, and with very little skills, won the title 4 years later and held it for 4 years. And those guys that he beat were all much better boxers than him.
Yeah, they were.
And they weren't, you got to go back not only to hear what the fighters say about him, but what the trainers say about him. I mean, he was a freak. He had the shortest arms of any heavyweight in history.
The only person I can think of that I can compare to him is Deontay Wilder. I know it's completely different, but in terms of his knockout ratio, what he did, that's the only person I can really, or him or Mike Tyson.
I mean, he had injuries in the ring that he fought. Don't forget, they were 15-round fights. His nose was split down the middle. And, when he won the title, he had a gash. He had a broken nose until he landed that right hand. Yeah. He fought through all of that, and he never got tired. He was just, you couldn't stop the guy. He was like Joe Frazier on steroids.
So he was cross of Vladimir Klitschko and Deontay Wilder rolled into one, pretty much, weren't you? That's the best way.
I don't think you could compare them. You know, different eras. I don't say he would have beat Muhammad Ali. We'll never know. We don't know. I mean, he beat Joe Louis, but you know, Joe Louis was at the end. But Joe Louis was winning the first 5 rounds until he got caught and started getting busted up bad.
He had freakish power. If he'd not had that freakish power, he wouldn't have won all the fights he won without that freakish power he had. You know?
He had all the disadvantages for a heavyweight, you know.
And he's cool as well.
I mean, he would be a light heavyweight today. So
yeah, but you know, everybody says even when I spoke to Archie Moore, Archie Moore told me about the fight. He said I was a better boxer. I had him down in the 4th round. I had him walk into a right hand. He got up. And he just started hitting me on the arms, on the chest, on the shoulders. It felt like he was sawing through my bones. And what he did was he just kept hitting him. The best offense is the best defense, a good offense, and he just kept throwing and throwing. So Archie couldn't time him anymore. He just cut him down. He beat him so badly. And if you watch his fights, when he hits a guy, if he hits him on the shoulder, anytime he hits him, no matter where he hits him, you see the guys vibrate and they go off balance. Watch that. When he hits that, how they vibrate and move. I didn't like him when I was younger. I thought he was messy. He was awkward. I didn't get it. But later, when I learned and I trained, I could see it. But anyway, enough about him. So Mike Tyson, where would you put Mike Tyson, Spencer?
I mean, I would put George Foreman ahead of Mike Tyson, perhaps, as far as career-wise. Lennox Lewis, maybe.
I think Lennox Lewis.
Evander Holyfield, I put ahead of Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson, definitely, yeah.
You know, I don't know if I would reach and put Larry Holmes ahead of Mike Tyson, but
no, I wouldn't.
But those guys, I wouldn't put Mike Tyson number 5. I definitely wouldn't put him number 5. Like he's the best outside of the top 3, without question. Everybody's gonna always pick. Well, at least Lewis and Ali is always gonna be in the top 3 of everybody's list, right? Heavyweights, and he's in that air with them. Nah, I don't see it. He beat Michael Spinks. He beat Michael Spinks.
Let's do this patrol. We're back in 5 minutes. Keep talking.
I mean, he had 81 fights. Foreman had 81 fights.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I mean, and not only that, I think he could have beat Tyson. Stylistically, that fight, he was made for Tyson. Tyson was made for him, rather.
Yeah.
And Frazier in there, I mean, Frazier, if he didn't have Ali there and if he didn't have Foreman there, God, what a fight.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but did Did Frazier and Norton fight?
Never. They were friends. They never fought. But, you know, I have a problem with these lists, you know. Don't you?
Yeah, because, I mean, it was a good time. That they had a good time during the Foreman, Frazier, Ali. Even though Ali kind of was, well, he won the 60 Olympics, right? Ali.
Yeah, light heavyweight.
And Frazier won which one? 64?
No, 60. Yeah.
And Foreman won 68.
That's correct.
Okay. Yeah, so they had like a gap between them as far as age wise, because Foreman was much younger than Ali. Younger than Ali, not much younger, but younger than Ali. Part of the thing that they thought Ali was going to lose because he thought he was old. Foreman was a monster. He can't handle that. So.
Well, Ali knew what Foreman was made of. He knew him psychologically. That when he got hit, he just went red with rage, and he just took him to the well. You know, he let him punch himself out. He took him to the well. The second George Foreman was a much better fighter. I mean, he wasn't as sharp as he was when he was younger, but his pace was much better.
He was a more intelligent fighter.
Yeah, and a more calm fighter. You know, he didn't let his rage get the best of him.
Because he knew he had the power.
And so did Michael Mora. Boom!
Yeah.
And I thought he won that last fight against what's his name, the big guy from Brooklyn, always goes champ.
Shannon Briggs.
Yeah, I thought he beat him. I thought he beat Shannon Briggs, but he lost it on a decision. You know.
Yeah.
Lennox.
Mike Tyson.
What?
Mike Tyson about to fight Jake Paul.
Yeah. I mean, that's stupid. Lennox Lewis was a unified champion. He should be higher on this list.
He was the undisputed champion.
Yeah, that's what I'm sorry. I always say that back and forth. You're right. Undisputed. Yeah, he had those two knockouts.
But he redeemed both of them.
Yeah.
So.
And they were bad. Well, McCall was shot mentally the second time.
Oh yeah. McCall, and the shot that McCall hit him with it wasn't like a lucky shot because he meant to throw the punch.
No, lazy jab.
Boom. Yeah, it wasn't a punch that you was expecting Lennox Lewis to get knocked out. Because after that fight, I was like, Lennox Lewis got a glass jaw. Yeah, if he got when I seen that one.
Oh man, that wasn't a glass jaw. He got hurt bad.
Yeah.
He did, and Rockman could punch too.
Yeah. Rockman was more to me more. That was a more solid knockout. That looked, that I could see.
But and it's right rematch. It was left hook, right hook, fourth round.
Yeah, he definitely redeemed himself. I mean, McCall didn't help in the redemption of that one.
No,
when they fought
after that fight is when he got with Emmanuel Stewart, who taught him how to fight like a big man and got rid of. He still had a lot of amateur tendencies.
Yeah,
and that's when he turned him around.
Do you think pre-Stewart, because wasn't that when they were supposed to fight Riddick Bowe and Lewis, was before he got with Emmanuel Stewart?
Well, they were talking about it on and off for a long time, and
yeah, I mean ever since the Olympics, but yeah.
Bo didn't want to fight him, and probably he would have. Didn't he throw the belt in the trash?
Yeah, but I think Bo would have beat him in the early part before Stewart. He could have beat him.
Yes, possibly, yes. We'll never know.
Like what? Yeah, we'll never know. We'll never know.
I just saw something with Larry Holmes walking the other day. It looks like he's developed Parkinson's.
Oh man.
Yeah, I saw him walking, and he had to hold on to his wife for this person, and he was like, the way he was walking wasn't good. I mean, he was in a lot of wars. But,
yeah, and he stayed around a long time.
Yeah, let me look him up and see what he said.
Didn't he fight Foreman?
Yeah.
Later on, when they was older, right?
No. Wait a minute.
It was during. I thought it was when they was like. I mean, when Foreman was older, because I mean, on the second comeback, they didn't fight before Foreman left.
Did Holmes and Foreman? Let me see. Larry Holmes versus Foreman. They were in negotiations in January 23, 1999 when Foreman pulled out due to the promoter, Roger Leavitt, could not secure financing in a timely manner after losing one of the major financial backers. So no.
Okay, so they were going to fight. All right.
But they didn't do it.
Okay.
And then John L. Sullivan. I mean,
I don't see his fight, but that isn't he the dude that started the lineage?
Yeah, and then he was defeated by no, it wasn't. It was gentleman Jim Corbett, who was more of a boxer. Not in modern boxing. And then it was Jack Dempsey after him, and then after him it was the guy that took it from him was, what was his name? I don't remember, but he took it from him, and there was that famous knockdown in the rematch, and they gave him a long count. I don't remember. Anyway, it's an interesting list. Is Nathan here or what?
Nah, yo, I forgot that Navarrete fought this weekend, and I seen the fight, so that's kind of
Yeah,
weird.
he was just he was out hustled.
Yeah, man. Yeah. That's that's just
Wow, so
Ukrainians had a good little 2 weeks.
they have, and you got to give it to them. Momenchenko before that, right?
Yeah, Lomachenko last the week prior, and then Usyk and this
Right.
guy this week.
Wow, he stopped. Nobody stopped him before Cambosis.
No.
So our friend Ryan Garcia's B sample is positive.
Yeah, this. I mean, is it any time? Can you recall any B sample that wasn't positive?
No.
Like it's a rare thing if it happens. That's why I'm like, whatever. Whatever they say, I'm gonna touch the B sample. Like, okay.
So yeah.
I mean, maybe it comes out like when the B sample comes out, maybe they could see more. It's like, yeah, he had something in the system, but he took it like 8 months ago, so but it was still in the system. Would that possibly be the case?
I don't know, man. I think there may have been one. I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
They like, hey, it ain't gonna cost me nothing. So check
No.
my B sample.
So you're trying to say that was an inside job, somebody slipped into him. I mean, come on. No matter, even if that's the case, if somebody's giving you something as a boxer, you got to find out what's in it before you take it. Anyway, Nathan, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Well,
yeah.
To be fair, Tom, if you in the gym and you got a camp or whatever the case is, you and they were like, yo, take this. This is a good thing for you. We got such and such and such and such in it. You would take their word that you would hope to take their word. That's what you hired them for. Like, I'm not gonna. Obviously, you're not. You want to hopefully have trustworthy people around you that they not slipping you something that shouldn't be happening or that's bad that it could get you in trouble.
That sounds
But
good.
No, I can hear you.
You can. Okay. Do you guys want to do a show tomorrow? Because I'm available. I'm working by myself tomorrow. If you want to do the show
tomorrow, what time? Because I'm working tomorrow. Oh, tomorrow's Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think we covered everything today.
If you wanted to do it, we can do
the weekend. Taylor and Catterall.
Yeah,
it's up to you.
The two fights tomorrow are Joyce and Mabili.
Yeah.
Joyce fights at what time? That's the afternoon time for us, right?
Yeah. Billy would be in the afternoon. I could tell you if I go on site here.
Billy who?
Billy and
McBilly and Efron.
Oh, okay.
Wait, they on the same card with Joyce?
I don't know. But I could find out if you give me a second. Poor Ryan Garcia. I feel so bad for him.
I don't.
Nah.
Fuck him.
That's right. Okay, so it's Catterall is on the Zone and Mabili's on ESPN. So check local listings. I don't know what that means. It's coming from England, so it'll be early. Let's see. I'll tell you right now, okay? Hold on.
I think I could watch that Tyson J. Paul fight for free.
When is that?
Tomorrow?
Is Mike Tyson
That's
fight?
in July. That's in July.
All right. So tomorrow it's going to be on the East Coast. It's going to be British time, 7 p.m.
Oh, so that's like 2
the
p.m.
East
for
Coast,
us.
it would be 1 p.m. No, 2 p.m. Eastern time, 11 a.m. Pacific time. So 2 p.m. tomorrow is Catterall. Let's see what Mbilli is. So Mbilli is going to be on ESPN. Check local listing. Mbilli. Okay, Mbilli versus Catterall. Mbilli versus what's his name?
McDibbilson.
Heffron.
Here it is. British time. I guess it's 2 a.m. and
Okay, so Billy is on on nighttime because he's in the States.
that'll be 2
Makes
p.m.
sense.
2 p.m. and 9 p.m. Eastern time on ESPN Plus.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So there you go. So
and that's tomorrow on Friday? All of those are Friday fights?
No, this is Saturday.
Oh, because you said tomorrow. But
Yeah.
Billy is Saturday.
Yeah, I'm confused.
Joey-
I'm thinking it's Friday, you know.
Oh,
Let me check Catterall, okay? So
because they're usually on Saturday. That's why I'm like, wait a minute. Those fights are on Friday? All of those fights? That's weird.
yeah, May 24th, they're both on Saturday. Okay?
May 24th is tomorrow.
I'm just going to send it to you.
All right, I'm saying May 24th is tomorrow.
You're right. But I'm just gonna say it's Saturday, May 25th.
It's the 25th.
For
Okay.
Catterall. Saturday,
Catterall is
2 p.m. Eastern time.
Joe Joyce is tomorrow.
No, it's July.
No, here, I'm just gonna put it in here. I'm just gonna put it in the thing right here. Okay? And
Okay.
See it. And
all right. I got the boxing updates on my app. I'm gonna go check it out. You ain't gotta worry about that. Because I'm gonna look at it as soon as I get off the phone.
Taylor versus Catterall, Saturday, May 25th, start time, 2 p.m. Eastern time.
Okay.
All right. And then here I'll do the other one. This way, I could let me redeem myself. Let me redeem myself, please. DAZN here. DAZN. I'll put it up here with what DAZN says. And then we're good to go. Okay, here it is. So it'll say, if you click on the link, it'll say here, Saturday, May 25th, 2 p.m. British time, 9 p.m. Eastern time.
2 a.m. British time.
Yeah, and I guess 9 a.m. Eastern time.
Yeah. All right, and this one is 2 p.m. our time for Taylor Catterall on Saturday.
Yeah, wait a minute. It's coming from Quebec. Hold on. So if it's in Quebec and it's 9 p.m., it'll be 9 p.m. our time and 2 a.m.
And Billy?
Yeah.
No, I know he's over here. I'm saying I said the States only because of the time, but it's on our side. It's on this side, this time zone.
So it's
this hemisphere.
And 2 a.m. on the side, right. So there you go. It's up there for both of you guys. And we'll see how it pans out. I'm going to take Catterall in this, and I'm going to take Mbilli in the other.
Yeah, I'd go with that.
Mbilli by stoppage and Catterall. I think Catterall wins by decision.
Yeah, that seems pretty logical. So let's go with that.
And what do you think, Nathan?
He agreed.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think Catterall won the first match, but that's.
Yeah, he got something to prove to Josh, saying it wasn't no fluke.
Yeah, he's motivated. He's motivated.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to holler at y'all guys.
Hey, great show. Thank you.
No doubt.
Okay.
Later.
See you guys next week.